You want the short version? Drake Maye didn't just beat the Giants on Monday night, he announced himself. That 33-15 win wasn't a tidy moral victory. It was a statement. New England is real, Maye is ascending, and the MVP conversation that included Matthew Stafford a week ago now looks very different. Right out of the gate, the Patriots took over. A 94-yard punt return by Marcus Jones turned what might have been a routine opener into a viral highlight and an early scoreboard dagger that flipped the atmosphere in Foxborough. From there, New England never looked back. Maye finished 24 of 31 for 282 yards, 2 pristine touchdown throws, and, most importantly, no turnovers. That last piece is the thing scouts and MVP voters obsess over. Production plus ball security equals trust. Maye gave both in spades. Now let's be real, the opponent here was the 2-11 Giants, and blowouts against bad teams don't automatically mean a player is the next household name. But the context matters. Maye made high-leverage throws in the red zone, he attacked downfield when it counted, and he avoided the kind of risky play that derails young quarterbacks. His deep dime to Kyle Williams, a perfectly placed strike down the left sideline for a 33-yard touchdown, was vintage I see you, I trust the read quarterbacking. That's not tape you can fake. Contrast that with Matthew Stafford, who entered Week 13 riding a quirky narrative of surgical efficiency. 27 straight touchdowns without an interception. It was the kind of streak that sends stat nerds into a frenzy and narrative writers their best headlines. Stafford extended that streak in the first drive, his 28th TD without a pick, and then in the cruel rhythm of football life threw 2 interceptions on consecutive series. One was a red zone end zone pick, the next was returned by the Panthers for a pick 6. That swing flipped a Rams win into a sudden upset, and just like that, Stafford's aura of invincibility at the moment cracked. So why does one quietly dominant night in New England tilt the MVP race toward Maye? A few reasons. First, optics and momentum. Voters and analysts feed on narrative arcs. Stafford's stumbles were loud because they were unexpected. Maye's night was loud because it reinforced a steady climb. Second, team record and seed math. The Patriots are now 11-2 and sit atop the NFL, tied for the best record, but now control the tiebreakers and the road to the number. 1 seed in the AFC. MVP voters love winners. Maye, being the quarterback of the league's best team in December, is a big, bright dot on his resume. Third, consistency and risk profile. Stafford's streak was flashy, but it ended in a way that reminded voters how fragile single-game samples can be. Maye, by contrast, is stacking weeks of careful growth and fewer mistakes. Don't mistake this for hyperbole about Maye being a finished product. He's a second-year player riding a breakout wave, and that wave needs more tests. The Patriots' schedule still includes meaningful matchups against teams that grind, blitz, and force you to throw in tight windows. But this performance was not a rookie flash. It was a polished step forward. He showed pocket patience, accuracy on timing routes, and the ability to switch to a power throw when the moment demanded it. Those are the durable skills that translate into sustained MVP candidacy. And let's talk about coaching and structure. Bill Belichick and this Patriots staff are doing what the best coaches do. They're building an offense around the strengths of their young quarterback. The run game, the special teams explosion from Jones, and Maye's growing chemistry with targets like Kayshon Boutte and Kyle Williams all demonstrate a functioning ecosystem. For a young QB, that synergy matters more than a single highlight. Voters notice when a player elevates systems instead of simply benefiting from them. The ripple effect of Stafford's rough night matters as well. Stafford's interceptions were not just scoreboard mistakes, they were confidence fractures. The Rams' 31-28 loss to the Panthers handed the Bears a late-season boost in the NFC race and shoved Stafford a few steps back in the narrative race. Voters respond whether they admit it or not. Who looks like the quarterback who can carry his team all the way through January? Right now, Maye's tape and New England's record answer that question louder. That said, MVP races are long, sometimes ugly fights. They reward durability across the whole season, end-of-season heat, and headline moments in December. Stafford's body of work this season still counts. One bad week, albeit a real stinger, doesn't erase everything. But it does invite doubt, and once doubt enters the room, narratives can change quickly. What makes this particular swing interesting is the timing. We're deep enough into the season that voters begin to zero in, but there's still time for shifts. The Patriots have a Week 14 bye, which gives May an opportunity to refine and rest. But New England's slate after that, Bills, Ravens, Jets, Dolphins, is not a cakewalk. How May performs in those primetime pressures will determine whether this moment was a checkpoint or a campaign launch. Stafford, meanwhile, has to rebound and show that his two interceptions were a blip and not a pattern. He needs to lead the Rams into December with the kind of late season heat that impresses voters who love a second act. Here's a line that'll probably get quotes. MVP voters love a story that combines an elite stat profile with team success and narrative momentum. May's Week 13 output checks 2 of 3 boxes cleanly and nudges the third. Stafford's cliff was dramatic because it undercut a streak voters had been banking on as proof of elite decision-making. Now the question is, who reasserts themselves between now and New Year's? Finally, the human element. May's confidence is contagious. He plays with a poise that reminds people of veterans who earned their stripes by facing night after night of adversity. Stafford, a proven star, will be judged not just by stats, but by how he answers. Does he respond with veteran force, or does the ripple turn into a pattern? Both outcomes are plausible. So, what should you watch next week? Watch the matchups, the pressure rates, the turnover avoidance. Notice how May handles a defense that can take away his first reads. Notice how Stafford adjusts to not letting the ripple define him. And watch the headlines, because narratives now move faster than ever. Bottom line, Drake Maye didn't merely win a game against a bad opponent. He seized a moment. He turned a tidy, decisive night into momentum that could carry him into MVP territory. Matthew Stafford didn't lose the season in one game, but he handed May an opening, and in December, openings are everything. Keep your eyes on New England. If May keeps playing like this, the MVP race will keep moving in his direction. Drake Maye just shoved his name further into the MVP conversation. New England rolled the New York Giants 33-15 on Monday night, and Maye was the picture of efficiency. 24 of 31 for 282 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 turnovers, while the Patriots improved to 11-2. That's 10 straight wins for a team suddenly sitting atop the NFL, and Maye isn't just winning, he's leading a juggernaut. Meanwhile, Matthew Stafford's once steady MVP script unraveled. Stafford's streak of 28 touchdown passes without an interception, a historic run that eclipsed Tom Brady, ended painfully. After breaking the mark, he followed with 2 straight picks, one in the end zone, one returned for a pick six, and the Los Angeles Rams fell 31-28 to the Carolina Panthers. That split-week performance flipped the narrative. May's steady dominance versus Stafford's sudden stumble. Here's why this matters. Drake Maye's case: poise, production, and team success. He's not just piling up stats, he's doing it in a system that's winning big games. 2 TDs, crisp decision-making, and a spotless turnover line Monday night are the kind of resume items voters salivate over. New England's 11-2 record and control of the AFC's top seed only amplify his value. Voters love a guy who's both elite and lifting his entire team. Matthew Stafford's red flag: timing and impact. Stafford still had a historic run, but the interceptions came at a terrible time. The Rams lost the game, and in a tight MVP race, a costly collapse matters. Voters compare peak to clutch reliability, and back-to-back interceptions with a loss are the kind of moments that swing perception, especially when Maye is answering every challenge with composure. Bottom line, this week didn't just change a stat line, it shifted momentum. Drake Maye seized a primetime spotlight and vaulted ahead in the MVP chatter, while Matthew Stafford's 2 picks opened the door. The race is far from over, but if you're betting on narrative and timing, Maye just picked up a huge leg up. If you want daily takes like this, clean, fast, and ready for camera, hit subscribe, and I'll keep the hot takes coming.